Hi, my name is Sherry, and I'm going to take you through a short chair yoga series. So, chair yoga is wonderful for people that have limited mobility, but it's also wonderful if we're just sitting at our desk at work and want to have a little stretch, but don't have a mat, don't have fancy yoga clothes and all those things. So, we're just going to do some gentle opening of the back, the shoulders, and the neck during the practice, maybe a little bit into the legs as well. So just start with a comfortable position on a nice sturdy chair. So you probably don't want a soft cushy armchair, but a nice sturdy chair. I just have a metal folding chair here, or a desk chair is fine. And again, just making sure that you feel fairly comfortable and at ease, maybe pulling the back a little bit away from the back of the chair so that you can sit nice and tall through the spine. Always here, just an invitation to close the eyes. If it's not comfortable for you to close the eyes, keeping the eyes open is fine. And just knowing that I'll talk you through the movements. So even if you can't see, hopefully you will be able to hear exactly what you need to do. So we'll start here with just a few deep breaths together. Nice deep breath in. See if you can let the belly expand a little bit here. And then exhale, just let it go. You might let that go through the nostrils, or you might just take a big falling out breath out of the mouth too. So big inhale. One more deep breath, big inhale. And then noticing if you might invite a softening in through the shoulders, the belly, the face. We'll just start here. We'll start from the head and we'll work our way down. So gently starting here with the neck. And the neck is a space that may have intense sensation for many of us, especially if we carry tension in the neck. So be really mindful and gentle here. We're not here to win yoga. We're here to just connect with the body and maybe find a little bit of extra space and ease in the body and soften through some of the muscles that tend to tense during our regular activities of daily living, but also especially when we're under stress. So listening to the body here, we're just going to gently take the right ear toward the right shoulder. So we're looking for a bit of opening here through the left shoulder, neck, and even into the upper back. And so your range of motion, just listening to those signs and signals in the body will tell you when to stop. And that would be before any pain. Just a couple of deep breaths here into the left side of the neck. And then we'll gently start to bring the head forward, tipping chin toward the chest. Again, really mindful of what's happening in your own neck. So if there is any injury that you need to honor today, maybe modifying the range of motion, not going quite as deep into the stretch. And that's true for all of the postures that we will work with today. And then we'll take left ear to shoulder, feeling hopefully some space and opening here through the right side of the neck, upper back, and shoulder. And then bringing head back up through center. And this time we're going to look over the right shoulder. So keeping the head and neck aligned here up towards center, nice tall spine, but just taking the chin over towards the shoulder, getting a different stretch here through the side of the neck. And so you may stay here in this position, or you might even tip that the chin down toward the right shoulder. Just notice how that changes the stretch here. Staying with the deep breaths, encouraging those muscles to soften and release without any need to force or push. And then taking the head back up through center, bringing the chin through center. And this time we'll look over toward the left shoulder. Same thing here. You might just stay tall, or you might start to tip the chin toward the shoulder. Just noticing if that's the right stretch for you today. Bringing the chin up, head back towards center. And one more time, we're going to take the chin forward. So we're working chin toward the chest, shoulders down the back, just really gently, and keeping the spine nice and tall. And then bringing the head right back up through center. And so this next posture, as all of them, is optional, but we're going to do some full neck rolls. And again, being really mindful of what's happening in your neck. So you can totally skip this or just do small circles instead of bigger circles. You'll see as you get started what your body would like for you to do today. So again, we'll start with right ear to shoulder, and then if it's available, gently rolling head back, all the way over to the left, and then forward. And so I like to do this a few times in one direction, nice and slowly, no need to rush. The potential here for getting dizzy, so just taking it nice and easy. You can stay with those as long as you like. And then as you're ready, switching direction. And you might even play with connecting movement with the breath here, maybe inhaling for one full cycle and then exhaling. Or if that's too much, just inhaling half of the circle and exhaling the other half. One more big circle here. And then we'll bring the head back through center. Nice. So now let's get a little bit more into the shoulders. So we're going to inhale, bringing the shoulders up to the ears, and then exhale, send them down the back. We'll do that a few more times. Your own pace, your own rhythm here is fine. So inhaling up and exhaling down. And you can just let the hands glide on the thighs. Investigating what's happening in the shoulders this morning. And then coming back through stillness, pausing for a moment. Noticing any residual sensations in the body. And then we'll reverse the shoulder rolls. So bringing the shoulder blades onto the back, inhaling up and rolling them forward. Do that a few times. One more breath. Nice. And then just allowing the shoulders to be soft. And now we'll take the arms down by the sides. Just let them hang here for a moment. Maybe even kind of wiggle them out a little bit. And this time we're going to take the arms up overhead. So being really mindful of what's happening in the shoulders. With an inhale, we'll bring the arms up. And you might just bring them halfway. Or you might start to reach up above the head. Maybe all the way up. Reaching those fingers all the way up toward the ceiling. And then with your exhale, allowing the arms to come back down by the sides. So again, just staying with your own breath. We don't have to be in sync here. Staying with your breath, your own rhythm is fine. Inhaling up and exhaling down. We all breathe at a different rate. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. And let's take one more big inhale up, reach through the fingertips. And this time we're going to reach a little bit farther over to the right. It's almost like you're trying to pick an apple. You might even look up, maybe open the eyes, get a little extra stretch through the neck, just gently looking up toward the sky. And then coming back through center, we'll do that on the other side. So this time reaching a little bit longer here on the left side. Coming back through center, and exhale, let the arms come by the sides. And if you need a little extra shoulder roll, always feel free to take that. And coming back through center, pausing for a moment. And so now we're going to take a little twist through the spine, start to stretch a little bit into the low back and mid back. So I just like to start by looking over the right shoulder and just see what the range of motion is going to be like today. And maybe you take that right hand back toward the chair, maybe left hand comes across to that left thigh. Right thigh. And then you can just gently see where the body wants to stop, where it feels like a nice stretch. Again, spine is really tall here, and just rotating right around the spine, looking over the right shoulder. And then we'll gently come back through center. And we'll do that on the other side. So starting just to look over the left shoulder. And remembering too that your range of motion may be different on different sides of the body, and that's okay. And bringing yourself all the way back through center. Nice. Good. And you can do that again as many times as you like. So now we're going to come into a forward fold. And again, as I've been saying all along, mindful of your body. All of our backs are really different, especially the low back. Could be really tight, or it might be really flexible today. Sometimes we don't know until we check in with that back. So I'm going to start really gently, just walking the hands forward. Maybe you just start with the elbows on the lap. And if that feels all right, maybe you start to bring the belly toward the lap and maybe start to walk the hands down. And you can stop anywhere in this process. And then if it feels right, maybe you start to let the head tip a little bit too. And so if you are coming into this full forward fold, allowing the shoulders to roll, allowing everything to soften down toward the floor. Continuing to stay with those nice deep breaths. And then gently coming back up through center. Now, if your head was below your heart like mine was, I'm going to come up really slowly and let that blood flow adjust so that I don't get lightheaded or dizzy. And then allow myself to just sit here for a moment, take a couple of deep breaths. And so we will do one more stretch into the legs. This is a really nice stretch for the hips, low back. And again, this one, if there's limited mobility in the legs or hips, you might skip or just modify. So you might just sit here for a moment and meditate until we're done. If you find that this pose doesn't work for you, which is again completely fine. All of our bodies are different. So I'm going to take my right foot and I'm going to place it over my left thigh, really gently over the left thigh. And right away you might feel some sensation. I already feel a nice stretch here in my outer hip. For me, it feels like a stretch. For you, if it feels like pain, I want you to come out of that posture and again, just sit for a moment. You might revisit maybe a twist or some neck rolls or shoulder rolls. That's all fine. So if you are here with me in this position with the foot over the thigh, same options. You might stay upright or you might start to fold forward. Okay, just looking for that gentle stretch here in the outside of the hip. And you might round the back, you might round the head. Just a few deep breaths here. And then slowly coming back up through center. Then we'll do that on the other side. So I'm going to take the left foot, place it over the right thigh, sit up nice and tall, and hinging at the hips. Exhaling forward, gently coming into that stretch. One more deep breath. And then slowly coming up. Resetting through the legs. And then for the last few moments here, we'll just breathe together. Again, eyes open or closed. If they're open, just softening the gaze, allowing the shoulders to fall down the back. Belly is soft. So feel free to revisit this sequence anytime, or even just one or two of the postures if you're at your desk, or maybe even in the car and you just need a little gentle stretch through the shoulders, or if you're at your desk and you feel like you need to stretch through the back, allowing yourself to take that time for your self-care. And, going through the sequence as many times as you like. Thank you.